The House GOP caucus, which stands at 88 members now, is set to meet in early December to endorse its nominee for Speaker of the House. And some are looking to oust Speaker Dade Phelan. Representative David Cook of Mansfield, who was once considered an ally to Phelan, has emerged as the top contender. Politics reporter James Barragan with the Texas Tribune is joining me more to talk about what is happening with all of this. James, thanks for your time.
It's good to be with you, Ashley.
You know, the name David Cook is one that people may not be familiar with because, let's just be honest, he is still fairly new to the House of Representatives.
Yeah, most state representatives are not known statewide. And even Representative Cook is not a super familiar name, even to a lot of Capitol observers. He's in his second session in the Capitol. He was a longtime mayor of Mansfield in North Texas. But it is somewhat surprising that he has risen to become the lead opposition to Speaker Dade Phelan, particularly because, as you said, he used to be an ally of his, but also because his politics are along the lines of Speaker Phelan, and he's leading a group that is much more right-wing and is much more socially conservative than the policies that he has pushed at the legislature.
And so that's something that I think we should really hone in a little bit more, because some people see it as being unlikely that he would be the pick, given the fact that he really is, or at least has been, in line with Speaker Phelan. Do you feel as though behind the scenes, with all the stuff with vouchers, with all the stuff with the governor, campaigning against incumbents, that this may have changed how he views things or changed how he sees things?
I don't think so. I don't think it's necessarily that there's a change of view from Representative Cook. I think what's happened, and we have one of the lawmakers who's supporting Representative Cook saying, is that he is a middle-of-the-line Republican, and they believe that he sees their vision for reforming the Texas House, as they call it. He doesn't want Democratic chairs. He wants to fast-track Republican legislation, and he doesn't want any committees that are made up of a majority of Democrats. That's what convinced one of these lawmakers to go with him, even though his policies, that is Representative Cook's policies, are still in that middle of the line. But he's committing to doing the things that this group of anti-Phelan members wants him to do.
You really went through a list of some of the complaints that some of these members have against Speaker Phelan. Let's talk about one of them, and that is the role that Democrats play in the Texas House of Representatives. It is a long-standing tradition, frankly, in both chambers, right, in the House and the Senate, to have Democratic chairs. It's not unheard of. Why do you think it is causing such controversy now?
Well, as Texas politics have changed and politics in general have changed here in the U.S., there's been less of an inclination to allow the minority party to play some type of role in the governance. We've seen that in the Senate, as you said, where Democrat chairs have gone by the wayside, essentially, now that Senator Whitmire, who was the last Democratic chairman, became mayor of Houston. Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick has said there will be no more Democratic chairs. And some of the House members on the Republican side are saying, hey, that sounds like a good idea. Why don't we do that as well? Speaker Phelan came up through the House, was a legislative staffer, and he believes in the bipartisanship. He thinks it's good governance. But it's not only that, it's also that there is a requirement sometimes to, in order to pass constitutional amendments, in order to pass special types of legislation, there needs to be passage by 2/3 of the members of the House. Without Democrats, there's no way for some of those constitutional amendments, some of those special types of legislation to pass, and that's become a sticking point. Phelan and his crowd are saying we need Democrats to get that done, and we are still passing very conservative legislation. They argue that they've had the two most conservative sessions in Texas history under his leadership. But the people who are against him say it's not enough. You guys are stalling our legislation. You're putting it on Democratic chairs, and that's how we are stalling conservative bills.
We're running out of time, James, but I just want you to tell us the numbers real quick. How many members does it take to elect a speaker, and can the Democrats throw a wrench in any of these plans?
Well, it's a strict, simple majority, 76. But the quibble here is Republican caucus wants it to be an endorsement by Republican lawmakers. they can't get a full endorsement of the Republican lawmakers without reaching 53 at their caucus meeting coming up in early December. So stick around and we'll have more details on that soon.
Yeah, you could have the Democrats siding with some Republicans and keeping the current speaker. It'll be so much fun for us to watch. All right, James Barragán with the Texas Tribune. We thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.